Netflix's Geek Week is here, and Masters of the Universe Revelation has released a trailer during this Netflix event. And I have to say that I'm quite pleased to see the great quality in animation. You couldn't expect really something less from Powerhouse Animation, considering that they are also in charge of the Castlevania animation, and that show is one of the best top quality out there on Netflix right now. And I have to say also that I am quite pleased to see that there are many more characters inside the Masters of the Universe Revelation story in this very, let's say, exciting, because I don't have any other word to describe it, 1 minute and a half more or less that the trailer takes. We see characters like Beastman with a little bit more detail of, him moving and all that. We also see Merman, and he seems to be commanding a fleet of his own, which is always good to see, like these villains, these characters that we grew up with, taking on different roles, helping the forces of evil or the forces of good. Conversely, for example, we also see how Man-at-Arms is leading the Royal Guards, all those guys that also have the same sort of armor that he wears during the show. We see also Tila commanding a group of Masters of the Universe. There we see Fisto, there we see Roboto, we see there also Clamp-Champ. Always good to see Clamp-Champ there. We also see Trap Joe. There is a sequence in which Man-at-Arms fights Trap Joe. That's great. And we also see vehicles like the Land Shark there in the background. We see Triclops riding one of these wing riders, like these sleds. It's now called the Jet Sled, for what I gather. And we also see, of course, our two main characters, He-Man and Skeletor. And we hear for the first time some of the voices. We hear Mark Hamill, Alan Oppenheimer did a great job with this one, for sure. And everywhere you see Skeletor, pretty likely you will hear his voice. However, what Mark Hamill is doing is quality work, as always with him. But I can't help also listening a little bit of the Joker in there. We also hear He-Man. I think that it's a very good job, a very decent job here with He-Man. And we see at the end there also Orko taking on a more, let's say, mature role. We don't know if he's going to continue being the comedy relief or how. But it's really awesome to see him counter a spell with a shield spell or something like that, which is something that characterizes also the universe of Masters of the Universe. It's something of a sword and sorcery thing, and seeing spells coming and going and being more effective, more dangerous, more chaotic, whatever they are, but they function properly and that they are, these huge things. It's always a very good thing, always something nice to see. And also the battles, for example, the sequence that shows battle between Evelyn and Attila. It's amazing to see that. Of course, this has people excited. It has me excited to see the quality of the animation, and I reserve a little bit because I don't know if we're going to also have that dreaded synopsis that we had in PowerCon 2019, and also from the article that Screen Rant wrote that I also think was taken down or fixed. And it doesn't say that anymore, but we know that it said Tila was going to be the main protagonist of this show. And to everyone that is making fun of people like me or like Clownfish TV that are good guys, saying that perhaps this was going to be all true what we saw during PowerCon, that Kevin Smith said in PowerCon, that Screen Rant said, we expect this to be good. I expect this to be good. When I make a prediction, when I say this is what it looks like, this is what we are reporting on, this is what is happening, what I want is to be wrong. I don't want, and I don't care, certainly, to be right in saying this is the Tila show. That's what it looked like. And also when we saw those pictures and we saw that particular still where we have Orko Robato and we have Evelyn with Tila, and Tila has a redesign, and that popular mental illness hairdo, well, you can't blame the fans for making these assumptions, for making these theories, and especially for those of us who love this franchise and this one is close to our hearts. And considering also the information that we have had from the past, from the articles that we have read, from PowerCon itself, from these different sources. What I hope, and this is real, is to be wrong. What I don't like about this show is that it's going to be divided in its first season into part 1 and part 2. You can only expect, if they are going to renew this for a second season or a third one or something like that this is going to be the norm. This is how they are going to be operating. Why I don't like it? Because I think, personally speaking, that this does not really give that, or does not really help the series keep that momentum that it's building up. That is why. I can't be wrong, of course. The Godzilla thing was rather interesting, how it was divided into two parts, and it was not unsuccessful at all, but it's not something that sits well with me. We will have to wait and see, of course, and I think I said that also in my video. We will have to wait and see if any of what we have said is confirmed. So far, this bit of animation hasn't confirmed or denied anything, so everything and every possibility is still on the table at this moment. Once again, I hope to be wrong, and that is my main drive in making these theories and making them public, which is something that I am not really used to doing. But being He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and how loved this franchise is by me, well, I took that chance and I took that risk, fully aware that I might be wrong. And believe me, the last thing I want is to be right with this one. I want this one to be successful. More successful than anything that has been put out there recently regarding Masters of the Universe and that lore. Simply put, because I want more He-Man in the future. So once again, I hope to be wrong, and if I am wrong, I will be more than glad to make a video about it and say I am glad to announce that I am wrong. I really don't want to make a video in which I will have to say I told you so. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Until next time, peace out.